Morning, fellow zombies. Are we alive yet? Are we awake yet? Because I sure as hell ain't. 3:13 in the morning, West Coast time. It's the 25th of July, 2024. The zombie, Weaver, John City, Roseman, California, still waking up here. Uh, in the background, you hear MSNBC talking about the speech last night that I unfortunately chose to not see. It's very hard to me dealing with a guy I had a hell of a lot of respect for. Just saying that he can't do it anymore, and I kept trying to figure out the politics, and then I thought of something basic. President Joe Biden's been in the office for a hell of a long while. I know he's got the experience. The problem is, uh, no matter how much our squishy brains and our ego can tell us how much we can accomplish, time is a thief, and it has stolen a lot of vigor. Them, the current commander in chief, and he's probably felt it. But when he took office 4 years ago, nearly 4 years ago, he wanted to have a backup just in case. He didn't see it because it was already said in the presence of a young junior senator. He used to be a prosecutor, a chief prosecutor of California, who was learning the ins and outs of the foreign relations, politics, and how to deal with everything else the president should know. He was dealing with the domestic issues that we all deal with. I had to keep thinking and rethinking about that one because Joe Biden intended Kamala Harris to succeed her. But he didn't expect COVID nightmare kick in and taking away his ability to manage an election cycle that was taking a lot of energy out of him. Reason why he wasn't able to do as much as he thought and wanted to do when that debate happened with Trump, and Trump is still looming over that thing. He was still leering and just said, "I'm going to destroy Joe Biden." Yeah, I'm off with my characterizations here. And he thought, and so did the rest of the Trumplicans, thought that they were going to nail Biden to the wall with a Trumplican, what they're thinking. But did they honestly thought? Did they honestly actually kept that thought in their head that they would have to face Kamala Harris? They didn't see it coming when he picked a young woman, well, younger than him, to potentially succeed him when things were going crazy. Yeah, she did have political uh, savvy. Maybe she's not good in negotiations, but she's a prosecutor, which means she'll be tougher on prosecutor on items. But she's got to see a clearer picture. In the courtroom, the battleground that she was grooming herself to be in for a while until politics happened and she got elevated in California to be the California Attorney General. She was going to enforce the laws of the land, but she was also going to try to see it fairly enough. Now, we heard about her a long time ago, but she kept trying to stay off the limelight and still in the courtroom mostly. Her battleground, her area of expertise, a way of dealing with the public is in the courtroom, the crucible for truth. When you have a defense attorney trying to defend a person who's going through a process of being judged, being whatever kind of case they're going through, you got a prosecutor out there who's going to be prosecuting like crazy, trying to bring out the truth, why something happened, why this defendant is there. Judge, maybe overseer, or maybe the one doing the judge, jury, and executioner of sorts, executing the laws. It's usually depending upon 12 people picked out, plus alternates, to make a decision on a defendant's guilt or innocence, depending on the strength of the arguments and the evidence that was presented. Some people consider it fascinating, other people consider it terrifying as hell, especially when you're a defendant in the cases, civil or criminal. That's not fun. It's not fun. Watching it in trial, it's not. So, am I comfortable with having a woman prosecutor going to be, or theoretically working on it, trying to be, if elected, President of the United States? Now, here's the question. Does she have the gravitas, the personality for this one? Will she be tough enough? Well, with her cases, yes, I think so. Will she be prosecuting people or trying to come up with the ideas or have people around her to create those ideas necessary for her to carry it out? I don't know about the creative side. I know about the jury and judge situation going on with her. I know that she has justice in mind. So when it comes down for judges, she would know something about that aspect. When it comes down for lawmaking, she's already had a bit of that in her mouth regarding the jury senator. So she was seeing the legal process as it was unfolding. She didn't worm her way through other things. And maybe, yes, maybe she did have corporate funding to get her in there. Because believe me, a layman like myself trying to get into the presidency of the United States, there's no way in hell I could just say, okay, I want to be president. I'm going to have to go to every state and win your affections. There's no way I'm going to do that. Finances it takes. A lot of it. And I haven't got the connections for it. Besides, way too late in the game anyway. If I wanted to go for something insane anyway, I would have done it a long time ago. I don't have the creative gumption of coming up with solutions to international problems, let alone the national problems, the local problems, actually. I mean, yeah, I can be the observer and talk about stuff like this, but I'm not in their level. But here's the funny thing. Over the past few decades, we're seeing that a common person can get into Congress and really screw things up left and right. If they didn't have a love of country, but only love themselves, then they show it by not dealing or supporting the people who got them into office. Because I've already seen how an out of control playground is, and they think the House of Representatives is a playground. It isn't, but they think it is. And right now, on the corporate media, they're going after each other with all these things talked about, and even old Gasbag was working with his newly elected twerp, if I can call him that. He reminds me too much of Pence. It's not religious. It's wishy-washy. You can't have a strong person right next to Trump. Because Trump has to be the one dominating everything. He has to be the dominating ego. He has to be the dominating force telling you, no, 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 you look at me, look at me, look at me, I'm the tough one. Don't look at my other guy over here. He's worthless. I just need him for a backup. But me, I'm the one that got to take care of everything. And he never did. He just lounged around and played golf all the damn time. Every 2 or 3 weeks, I went over to a fucking golf course. See, I'm Donald Trump, and I say so. I can go to golf courses all the time and get work done. That's probably how he did it in a corporate role. Anyway, play at the golf course all the time. And not give a shit about anything else, not even the companies. He kept crashing and burning left and right. I couldn't stand saying the farewell speech because I didn't want to have my heart broken. I mean, yeah, I thought people are going against Biden because he was old, and people have a problem concerning about people getting old and trying to do the jobs left and right. Administration job, hardest thing to do when you're trying to be the administrator, chief administrator of a country, and you got to make sure all these things are happening. You got the middle managements working tirelessly trying to make sure that the country is working, and the top level has to oversee it, and he's the top of the pyramid. I mean, he'll sign off on things that's important, but he's got to know not the minutia, unless he's going to be asking for it, but just the general stuff. But this is hard to deal with. I'd seen him crawl up. Over the past 3 or 4 decades, I've seen him crawl up onto the platform where he is right now. Now he's going to be retiring on this one. He's going to be joining the rest of the party that supported him and that he worked with. Just 4 years. He couldn't do another 4 years because his health wouldn't take it. The body couldn't take the stress, not to mention the viruses kicking his ass. As I understand it from the health reports I listened to from doctors, they're talking about the damn bug. You know what I'm talking about, the C-19, the son of a bitch. A COVID strain. It leaves the person's autoimmune system just crash and burned. It's almost. I suspected that the bug that when Biden got it, despite the fact he had the antibiotics, it was leaving his system more and more weakened. And that also makes an indication about he wasn't going to have the stamina necessary to go out there and run and manage country at the same time. I was too used. I was too used to the idea of the West Wing series. You had a younger 50-something president busting his ass in Connecticut as a governor, fictional governor, and then makes the president of the United States. But on the campaign trail, he was out there giving his all in energy, which kind of reminded me of Kamala Harris doing the same thing. And eventually, he got in there. President Zachariah Bartlett. Yeah, his character, played by Martin Sheen. I saw the energy and the toll that was taken on the actor. I was even seeing how it was in the gray hair. I mean, Biden already came in with gray hair anyway. But he's going to try to do the best he can. And he's going to be struggling with the time left he's got to continue on. But I know that he depended upon Harris to give him the energy and strength necessary to say, "Look, I can take the lead on this one, boss. Just focus on your health and focus on the rest of the country. I'll do the campaigning for you." And she did, and she is, and she's doing it. Time to step aside for a fresh, younger voice. I know it disappointed him a great deal thinking about this for a long time. He wasn't about to let the public know about this one. He wasn't about to let the public know that he was already planning on this one. That's why he got Harris in the first place. Nobody else got the idea. Good lord, they're a day late, a dollar short on this one. They didn't see the observations on this one. You don't get a younger partner unless you expect that younger partner to be trained and then take over your job just in case. That's line of succession here. In the real world, when you see a younger person trying to do your job, you know you're going to be phased out on that one. I know. Too much of it I observed. And I always thought they were against the older folks. Well, the older folks, when they get not as able or nimble, you need the younger folk to continue to do the job. And then when they get into the job and stay at it long enough, they try to retire from it. Well, they'll get retired, all right. Forced retirement sometimes. I've seen that happen firsthand as well. A few people I knew in one particular company that was getting bought out. They're buying out companies left and right, and then they get bought out. So naturally, people are getting cut out left and right. And one person who was supposed to be getting full-time benefits just got her ass kicked. She wasn't happy about it. She's supposed to expect to retire with full benefits. Didn't happen. A few other people like that, but she was the oldest one in the office. She stayed in the office a long time for this company. Yeah, yeah. Some people I've seen go through that, but that's in the private sector. Public sector, shit. You can stay in the public sector as long as you still continue to have a mouth and do the job. Despite how many medical situations a person can have, they can still stay at the job as long as they're mentally fit to take care of it. But the problem is, even the body and brain betrays them and they have to leave office one way or another. Either retirement, voluntarily, or involuntarily. And I know the Trumplicans are still chewing on the bits on this one. They're trying to find any kind of legal way they can manipulate like crazy to get these get the Democrats to bow and kowtow. Cheat with the judges. Cheat with the majority. Cheat basically. But I'm not saying that the Democrats are also immune from this thing. I mean, yeah, there's a few of them who actually do play the game. There's nothing done altruistically. There's always something with a catch. Even in our democracy, even in our republic, um, even in our republic, people still have a hard time trying to define whether or not we are a democracy or a republic. Democracy is supposed to be one person, one vote. Well, we have an electoral college set up, and we are a republic, but we're also a democratic republic. People keep uh, changing the viewpoints left and right to fit their own pattern, but we are a republic, yes. We are United States, 50 of them, maybe increasing more if we're lucky enough. We allow votes, one vote per person, but depending upon the state itself. But there is a voting system that they have been debating for a long time. The electoral college system, based upon population density of the states, how much representation they're going to have in the House of Representatives. Now, in the U.S. Senate, it's already fixed, 2 senators per state. But the representatives they can have as many representatives so far up to a certain point. Not because of the chairs they got in the chamber. It's depending upon population. If they're going to get the greater population, they get the greater electors that are going to be putting them in there. But there's only a set amount of electoral seats, actually elected seats in the chambers. It's like if you get a state like Wyoming that doesn't have that many electors in there to get representatives, they maybe get about maybe one or two in them. But California, we would get more because of our population in our state. We would get more seats in the chamber. Systems unfortunately works that way. It means certain states would have more political clout than the other states do. But you just can't stay in public service forever. You'd like to, but you're on the public dime, which means you still need to produce. You still need to be. And that's kind of hard enough. So right now, Kamala Harris is going to be busting her ass from now until Election Day. I hope she's got the energy left over because she's going to be needed for the next 3 or 4 months. But if we're going to be able to deal with the other issues concerning about people wanting to take power and run things their way, and the problem is when they do that, they don't have a creative bone in their body. They're like leeches. They'll suck it out of you. They're like vampires, succubuses. Suck the life blood out of you. And they'll want more. They got used to it. They don't have a creative bone in their body. They'll blame, 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 blame. Always blame, but never something creative. Oh, sure, we'll get creative. We'll get another jail system build up. How about that one? We'll get a wall. More division, more division, more division. Blame the other guy for the division. It's not our fault. Yeah, right. We're not the United States of America. We keep following that line of thought. Constantly blame the other person, but we don't take care of accountability, transparency, or responsibility. No, we don't do that because we have to blame the other guy because we don't know anything else we're going to be doing. So we blame, 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 blame. It's your fault. It's your fault. It's your fault. And you're probably going to be ticked off enough to hear me say that, yeah, I blame the voters, and I still do. In democracy, it is supposed to be the majority, but the minority still has a way of influencing the majority if they can make the arguments on it necessary in order to get the job done. But if not, you know what we're doing at this point? We're screwing ourselves over one way or another. Strongman says, I can get everything done because I'm perfect and I can do this. Ah, look at me. Yeah, right, sure. Probably asking me, well, what about you? Me? Shit, give me a break. I'm not ruining everyone else's lives. I'm trying to ruin my own damn life. Thank you very much. I've seen a few people, selected people out there trying to make a difference in the world. And they're trying to gather people to make a better difference. And then you see the naysayers say, how dare you? Well, I dare. You can't say that because I say so. Yeah, well, I'm surprised Google and YouTube hadn't pulled me off yet. Every time I keep, well, I don't know, exercise is my First Amendment right sometimes. And my proverbial telling people saying, bite me, pain in the ass. So not for me griping and grumbling on this damn thing. So, what's your gripe and grumble this morning, boys and girls? And then some.